Good morning. Welcome to my bedroom. My name is Malin, and this is a Ashtanga Vinyasa practice. I would probably say around level 2, 3, something like that. We're going to practice our funky Pincha with a lot of other fun arm balancing just to sort of get into strengthening and stretching the shoulders for sure. We're going to open up the hips, so on and so forth. One thing that I almost always start saying in class is that really pay attention to where you are each morning. I taught over at Yoga 6 Power, which is in a heated room, and I was moving along, and even though with the heat that normally helps us to loosen up the muscle and stuff, I felt really tight both in my hips, and I felt weak, and sometimes it's even though that we are practicing advanced postures, so to speak, or anything that might be challenging for you, just really pay attention to see if that's really you really have to push everything to the very limit, or maybe sometimes we're just going to ease it back. All right, so it's one of those days where I really would like you to focus on the breath and just take it inwards and tune in and really sit with the sensations. And instead of the ego driving you forward, maybe go into the back seat and see, do I really need this? And maybe you don't come all the way into full pinch, or maybe, balancing on one hand and one forearm is where you're going to be today. Okay. So I really want you to honor your practice, or maybe you want to take it even further. What do I know? Okay. So let's come into a comfortable seat, however that might look like for you. Try to get your shoulders over your hips. Move your neck around a little bit. See if you can get any cracks out of the hips. Move the shoulders around, and then we find the stillness. In the seat, we're finding this good seat where we can find stillness. And just take that moment and see where you need to be, where you are. Let go of any expectations of the practice. Let's just start deepening the breath. Slowly start finding the rhythm, feeling the chest rising and falling with every inhale and exhale. And then transition to the Ujjayi Pranayama, sealing the lips, breathing in and out through the nose. Find a light contraction at the back of the throat, keeping the inhale and the exhale the same. Engage the pelvic floor, your Mula Bandha. Draw the navel to the spine, your Uddiyana Bandha. And open up your eyes and just take your left hand by your side, bringing your right hand up and over, stretching into that right side, and roll your wrist around, moving the fingers, and then make circles with your shoulder, and then move it the other way.
And then come up through center and then over towards the right. Try to keep that left hip grounded and then make circles with your wrist. And make big circles in your shoulder. Make sure to go both ways. And inhale, come back through center and then make your way into all fours. And then flip your palms around. So the fingertips point towards the shoulders. If it's too much, you can always take them to the side or let your hands point forward. And then we're going to rock back and forth. And come forward, shoulders over or under your, or shoulders over your wrists. And then inhale, drop the belly. Cow pose, lift the chin from the chest. Exhale, round belly in, chin to chest. Look between your legs. Inhale, look up. Tailbone rotates up. Exhale, round. 2 more like this. And then come back to center. Take the hands in front of you, shift your hips to the heels for child's pose. Forehead down. Walk your hands forward. Come up onto your fingertips and roll your armpits in so you have that external rotation in your upper arms. Stretching armpits, side body, hips and shoulders. And take your forearms down. Stay on your forearms. Shift forward into a kneeling tabletop and then extend your feet out. Coming up onto the balls of the feet. Getting your hips neutral. Forearm plank. Press the mat away from you. Breathe. 3 more. Last one. Take your hips down towards the mat. So press the pubic bone in, untuck the toes, press into the forearms, and then move the shoulders away from the ears. Pull your heart forward. Sphinx pose, gaze at the tip of the nose. And then tuck your toes under, and then come back into forearms. Take your knees down. Shift back into child's pose for a moment. And rise up to all fours. Take your left hand under your heart. Inhale, right arm reaches up. Exhale, thread your arm underneath, thread the needle, shoulder comes down. Left arm can reach forward or you can wrap it around towards your right thigh. And then shift the gaze. Stretching your right shoulder and your left. And then release. Left hand plants, inhale, right arm. Then take your hand down. Hands under the shoulder. Inhale, left arm comes up. Exhale, thread your arm. Whatever you did with your left arm, do the same with your right. And then twist into the upper back. And then come back. And your right hand, inhale, left arm. And then take your hand down, come back into all fours, tuck your toes, lift your hips, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Press into your hands, you can walk your feet out. Just getting movement to the calf, hamstrings. Pay attention to your hands, press into your fingertips, the knuckle, the palm of the hand, and again you find that external rotation in your upper arms. You're rolling your armpits in, relaxing your neck and shoulders. Lift your kneecaps, look between your legs and breathe. As you rotate the tailbone up. Inhale, come forward into high plank, shoulders over wrist. Hips are neutral. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 more like this. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale. And walk your feet forward, coming all the way towards the top of the mat. Feet hip width apart. You can bend your knees, drop the head down. Shift weight into the balls of the feet. And then nod your head, yes. Shake it out, no. And into the knees slowly, gently start rolling up. And then eventually you're coming in to Samastiti. Palms facing forward. Again, hips on neutral, belly in. Listen back into your breath. And moving into Surya Namaskara A. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Palms together, gaze up. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step both feet into high plank. You can take your knees down. Exhale, lower down, Chaturanga. Inhale, come to the tops of the feet. Arms are straight, heart moves forward. Legs are strong, upward facing dog. Exhale, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. We breathe. Exhale, 1. Exhale, 2. Exhale, 3. Exhale, 4. Exhale, 5. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees. Step your feet forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, bow. Inhale, root to rise. Exhale, hands by your side. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands, Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Breathe. Exhale, 1. Exhale, 2. Exhale, 3. Exhale, 4. Exhale, 5. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, step your feet forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Exhale, hands by your side, Samastiti. The last time, inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, lift your hips, Ardha Mukha. Exhale, 1. Exhale, 2. Exhale, 3. Exhale, 4. Exhale, 5. Inhale, lift the heels, bend your knees, step your feet forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Exhale, hands by your side, Samastiti. Surya Namaskara A. Or B, sorry. Bend your knees. Inhale, sit into chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Step your right foot between your hands, left heel down. Inhale, rise, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, step it back, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Right heel down, left foot forward. Inhale, rise. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Come down to your forearms, down dog B or dolphin pose, whatever you want to call it. Heels are reaching back, heart to the toes. Look between your legs as you're pressing into the forearms and the shoulders. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back up onto your hands. Make sure you're breathing. Check in where you need to be. With your head space in the ego. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees. Step your feet forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Big toes together, bend the knees. Inhale, Utkatasana. Come to standing. Samastiti. Right, we're going to do this one more time. Or we're going to do it 2 more times. So this next time you can either hop switch after warrior 1, or you can take it up into one breath up into handstand. We're not holding handstand just yet, and then we flip it back into chaturanga from there. Right, or you just leave it out together. Bend the knees, inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Warrior 1, right foot forward, breath takes you up. Exhale, hand comes down. All right, hop switch, hands down, to step it back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Left foot forward, inhale, rise. Exhale, hand comes down, whatever you did on the other side. Take it down, Chaturanga. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Come back to your forearms together, another 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Come back onto your hands. Inhale, lift your heels, bend your knees, step your feet forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Big toes together, bend the knees. Inhale, Utkatasana. Come to standing. Samastiti. So this last one, I'm going to hold everything. 5 breaths. Nice and slow. Settle back in. Bend the knees. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, 1. Squeeze into the midline. Relax the shoulders, 2. 3. 4, and 5. Release, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing warrior 1. Draw your right hip back. Try to square yourself as much as you can to the front. Arm comes up, squeeze into the midline, gaze up. 5, 4, 3, low ribs in. 2, and 1. Hand comes down, frame your foot, take it up, handstand. Another 5. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Warrior 1, left foot. Inhale, rise. For 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Hand comes down, come back into handstand. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Come into child's pose. Take your arms back. Forehead down. Shift back and forth. Hold on to the arches of your feet. Settle in. And then come up and take a seat onto your shins. Take your hand and then again you make circles. And then I don't know what to call this. Open, closing your fists. And then shake them out. And then inhale, bring your arms up and your elbows. Take your hands onto your elbows. And then lift your chest up, lean back, get a little arch in your back. Bring up into the shoulders. And then release your arms down. Inhale, arm comes up, and now hold the other hand. All right, so you should feel a little bit awkward. And then release. Return into downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Breath out. We walk your feet forward. Coming back to the top of the mat. Big toes together. Bend the knees. Inhale. Come into Utkatasana. Exhale. Hands to your heart. And then hook left elbow outside your right knee. Right, so you can stay with hands at heart. I like to get my knee or my knees high to the tricep as I can. I sit down deep. You take your hands here, you can lengthen it, or drop your left hand outside your left foot, and then bring your right hand either up or forward. And we breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Look down, and then take your heels to the butt. All right, I'm going to walk my toes to the side of the mat so I can plant my fingers facing forward. So with your right elbow can come to your hip, and you can stack it like a little shelf, like this, or you let your hand flow. All right, you're going to lean into your hands. All right, you're going to take 5 breaths in Parsvabhakasana. All right, and then from there we're going to go into Dvipada-Kundinyasana. All right, we breathe here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Extend your feet forward. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Split your legs. And jump back. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Get down to the knees. Take a child's pose for a moment. And circle your wrists around again. You feel that they are a little bit tired. I'm just going to come to the other side so I get that space. Take a seat. Shake them out again. Good, and then return to downward facing dog. Come back to the breath. And then walk your feet forward. Coming back in to the forward fold, big toes together. Bend your knees. Inhale, sit into chair pose. Exhale, hands to your heart. And now, right elbow outside your left ear. Right, heel back. Is this right? I think so, right? Good, all right. So either say you will drop that hand outside your left foot, left hand up or maybe over. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, look down. Plant your hands. Take your booty down to the heels. Fingertips are pointing forward. Okay, here we come. Ashtanga to Dvi, Pada Vinyasa to Ekapada. Okay, so it's about 10-15 breaths. Again, listen in. Split your legs. Jump it up. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take your knees to the mat. Come back into child's pose. Breathe. Maybe you come up this time and just take your top of your hands to the mat. Shift back and forth. Be nice and gentle, not too much pressure. Good, and then come back into downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts up to the sky. And then bend your knees, leg and hip open. Move your arm around. Send your foot to the back of the mat. Exhale, knee to nose, come forward. Round your upper back. Inhale, lift and lengthen, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to chest. Step it through, spin your back, heel down. Heel to arch alignment. Rise up into warrior two. So we're going to create a dancing warrior sequence. All right, first though, we're going to take 5 breaths. Just so we know where we're going. Sit deep down, relax the shoulders. For 5. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Flip your palm, reverse. Another 5. Take the hand behind your head, lift the chin away from the chest. You can wrap that left arm around to the thigh. Another 3. Inhale, rise up. Hand comes either forearm down or hand to the floor. And then reach your arm. Uttita Parsvakonasana. Open up the chest. Try to move right knee to the right. Press into the back edge. Shift the gaze. 5. Low ribs in 4. 3. 2. And 1. Take your hand down, spin up onto the ball of your left toe. Inhale, right arm, low lunge twist. Open up the heart, the hip. Legs are strong. Exhale, hand comes down, step it back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg. Exhale, knee to the chest. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, step your foot through between your hands, spin your back heel down. Inhale, rise up, warrior two. Try to drop the hip down again. Shoulders over hips. Sit deep down for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Reverse. Whatever you did on the other side. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, rise up. Extended side angle. Utthita Parsvakonasana. Bringing right arm up and over. Open up the chest. For 5. Legs are strong. Keep reaching. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hand comes down, come up onto the right toe. Inhale, left arm, low lunge twist. Exhale, hand comes down, step it back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog and breathe. So we're going to take that twice through. Breath to movement. So start with taking your breath in through the nose. Open mouth. Let it go. Return to the Ujjayi breath. Noticing if you're having it fast to sort of are on the loose. See if you can tuck them away somewhere safe where you can revisit at a later time. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, three-legged. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, rise, warrior two. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, rise. Exhale, extended side angle. Hand comes down. Inhale, low lunge twist. Right arm lifts. Exhale, step it back. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, rise, warrior two. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, rise. Exhale, extended side angle. Right hand down. Inhale, left arm. Step it back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. One more time. Inhale, right hand. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, rise, warrior two. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, rise. Exhale, extended side angle. Hand comes down, low lunge twist. Take it down, step it back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, rise, warrior two. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, rise. Extended side angle. Right hand down. Inhale, left arm. Step it back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Breath out. Then walk your hands forward, not your hands, but your feet forward to meet your hands. Keep your feet hip width apart. Take your peace fingers around your big toes. Pada Gustasana. Inhale, lift and lengthen. So you're lengthening yourself forward. Belly in, and then exhale, fold. Drop the crown of the head towards the floor. Use your arms. Be mindful of your hamstrings. You can have that bend to the knee, chin to chest. Breathe. 4, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Let go of your big toes. Hands under the feet. Padahastasana. Inhale, half lift. Belly in, lengthening forward. Exhale, fold again. Press the balls of the feet into the hands. You try to pull the hands forward. Hips over your ankles for 5. Lift your kneecaps. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Let go of your hands. And from here, step your left foot to the back of the mat. And then walk to the long side of the mat. What foot doesn't really matter, right? We're going to take it into Prasarita A, hands under the shoulders. Lift and lengthen, press into the other parts of the feet. And then exhale, fold, belly in. Move your hands in line with your heels. Shift weight into the balls of the feet, chin to chest. And breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, hands onto your knees. And then rise all the way up. Inhale, open up your arms. Exhale, take your hands behind your back. And then shoulders to the ears. Lift your chest. Exhale, fold. Drop the crown of the head down towards the floor. And we stay here and breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take the hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Walk your hand to the front of the mat. Keep your hands to the inside of your right foot. Step your left foot next to your right. And from here, you're going to lower down into a little Malasana squat. Take the hands at heart. Lift the chest. Feel the bandhas. All right, so from here, you got an option to stay or keep on opening up your hips here. Or we're going to take Mukta Hasta Shirshasana, right? But we're going to face forward. From there, we're going to transition to Bakasana and Vinyasa out from there. So we're going to take our hands down, we're going to lift our hips down, and then we're going to heel to our feet off the mat. All right, so you're almost back into that forward fold, but you're facing forward. All right, you drop the crown of the head down to the mat. Here you go, and then float your feet up. So you want to have a 90-degree angle. So you're having elbows over your wrists. All right, and then float your feet up. You take 5 breaths. Squeeze into the midline, feel the bandhas. Then bend your knees, take your knees to the triceps. And from here, you drop the Buddha down, lift your head. Then squeeze your knees into that midline, heels to the butt. You are in Bakasana. And then jump it back, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take your knees down towards the mat. Walk your hands forward, so Anahatasana, puppy pose. So hands either shoulder width or wider than shoulder width, depending on how open you are. And then exhale, sink your chest down and rotate the table now. See how I'm rotating? All right, roll your armpits in, look between your hands, belly in, and breathe. And then come up onto your hands and then return to downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, knee to the chest. Stick your foot through between your hands and then lower your left knee and the top of the foot down. And just stay here. Draw the right hip back just for a moment. And then maybe you come up onto your hands, onto your knees with your hands. Try to bring the left hip down. So you just feel how you're stretching the left side. Stay here for a moment. Lift the chin. Feel the lift through the heart. Spread your toes. And then frame your foot, shift back for Ardha Hanuman. Belly in, heart moves to the toes, and breathe. And then inhale, come forward, bring your arms up by the ears, coming back into deeper variation of Anjaneyasana. Lift the chest. Now take your hands behind you, interlace your hands, roll your shoulders open, pull the hands down your thigh, lift the chin. Two more. And then release. Frame your foot, tuck your toe, lift your knee. Step your left foot in. Heel to heel alignment and then straightening out your front knee. Parsvottanasana, right hip draws back. Lift and lengthen. You can use blocks here. Feel how your belly wants to come closer to the thigh, your heart, and then eventually your chin. We breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, lift and lengthen, Parivrtta Trikonasana, hands inside, outside, or maybe on your foot. Right hand to the hip. Inhale, lift, lengthening forward, belly in, and start twisting, loading top hand up. We breathe 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take your hand down. Option here is to come into standing split, just lifting left foot up, slide it back. Here you go. Lift it up, or another 5 breaths in your handstand if that's what you're practicing. Remember, let go of your ego. Step it back into Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg left. Exhale, step it through. Right knee comes down. Just stay here, opening up into the hip flexor. Bringing that right hip down, hands to the knee. Stay here, lift through the heart. And then frame your foot, shift back, Ardha Hanuman. Lower the front leg. Then inhale, come forward. Inhale, rise up. Then take your hands, interlace them behind your back. Lift your chest. Take the thumb on top. Draw the hands down your thigh. And then release. Frame your foot, tuck the toe, lift the knee, and then step your right foot, heel to heel alignment, straightening out your front knee, Parsvottanasana. Lift and lengthen, belly in, exhale, fold. And breathe 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Take your right hand outside your left foot or onto the top of your foot. Inhale, lengthening forward. Draw your hip back and then start twisting, floating top hand up. Take your hand down, so either standing split or coming back into your handstands. Playing with your balance. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then come through to a seat. Extend your feet out in front of you. Option 1. Right knee to the chest, just bring it down for Urdhva Sthasana. Take your foot into the hip crease for Ardha Baddha Paschimottanasana. Padma. There we go. Sit up tall and exhale, fold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, come all the way up and then switch legs. So either Urdhva Sthasana or Ardha Baddha Padma Paschimottanasana. Grabbing onto the foot, wherever you are, you sit up tall. Right arm comes up, exhale, fold over the front leg. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, come all the way up, across your ankles, and then step it back into Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. You're going to jump through, and you're going to take your right foot outside your right hip into Chaturanga, Mukha Paschimottanasana. So slide it through. You can move the calf muscle. Try to keep both sit bones down. You can sit up onto blocks. Sit up tall. Exhale, fold. 5. Noticing if you want to lean to the left, you can put a hand there to help ground the right sit bone down. Inhale, come all the way up, and then we're just going to switch leg. Sit up tall and then fold. Inhale, come all the way up. And from here, step it back. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Jump through to a seat. Good. And from here, you're going to take left foot into half lotus or underneath. So Marichyasana B. Bend your right knee. And bring your right hand up. Exhale, fold forward. Wrap it around. Maybe you have a strap. You sit up tall, exhale, fold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, come all the way up, and then switch over. So left foot or right foot into left hip crease. You bend your right knee, coming back into Marichyasana B. Left arm comes up, exhale, fold to the inside. Maybe you connect your fingers and you fold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, come all the way up, and then release, let it go, step it back. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then come down to your knees. And then take your forearms down. Right, so here it is, our first Pincha Mayurasana of the day. So tuck your toes, lift your hip, just like we did in down dog B. You lift your hips up. Maybe this time you walk your toes close to the elbows and reach your heels down. So you may stay here. Maybe you're lifting one leg up. Maybe you just rock back and forth like this to get strength to the shoulders, or you're folding your feet up. Press into the forearms. 5 breaths in Pincha. And then take your feet down, shift it into child's pose. And then return to downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, knee to chest. Take your shin, thigh, sit pose. Ekapada Rasha Kapitasana prep. So roll over to the left. Make sure the foot comes out of your hip. You sit up tall. Ooh. Maybe you start folding forward. Good. And breathe. And then inhale, come back onto your forearms, onto your hands. Tuck your left toe, bring your right leg up and back, and then exhale, take it down. So we're just going to do the same thing on our left side. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to chest, take your shin, thigh, sit bone comes down. Make sure that the hip comes out, or the foot comes out of the hip. Lower rib comes in. Feeling how you're stretching into the hip flexor, other part of your left hip, and then you fold forward. And you breathe again. And then slowly come up onto your forearms, onto your hands. Tuck the toe, lift your knee, and then bring your right leg up and back. Lower your foot down, jump through to a seat. Good. Agnisthambasana to start with. So left shin in front, right foot on top. Right, flex your feet, sit up tall. Right, so you've got that nice stretch into the hips. There might be a case where you stay right here if your knees up, it's okay. Maybe it's just enough with the chin to the chest. You start walking your hands forward and breathe. And then inhale, come up, and then switch legs. Right foot at the top, bottom, and left foot on top. Be mindful of your hips. And then exhale, you start folding again. And breathe. And you come all the way up. And then extend your feet out in front of you, and then shake them out. Just tap back of the legs down. Right, so either come back into Sukhasana, so you're just here, or you're going to take right foot into the left hip crease. Option 1, or option 2, I guess this will be, so the left foot is underneath you in half lotus, or you're going to take your foot on top. Here we are in Padmasana. Squeeze it in. And if you can hold on to your elbows behind your back, or you're going to try to hold on to your toes. And from here, exhale, fold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, come all the way up, and then release. Again, extend your feet out, tap them out. Come to the front side of the sit bones, exhale, fold forward. Paschimottanasana. Inhale, come all the way up. And then from here, make your way back into all fours. We're going to take Pincha Mayurasana one more time. And maybe you will take your soles of the feet together, upside down if you can, or you're just practicing up against the wall, or wherever you might be. Or you see if you can take into Padmasana, legs upside down. Here we go. And then come into child's pose. And then come and take a seat onto the shins. So Virasana. This will feel nice, especially if you try to lower down like I just did. I'll try, which I normally need my teacher to help me. To come up again, to take the lotus into my triceps. So take the seat between your feet, move the calf muscle out of the way, have that internal rotation into the thighs, Hand comes behind you. Inhale, lift your hips, and then do a little tap. You can sit up onto the blocks. Listen to the breath. Keep going. Come all the way down. Reach your hands up and over. So Uttanasana, my hero's pose. And then inhale slowly to the stomach, making your way out. Come into all fours, and then extend your right foot back and just shift back and forth. And then the other. All right, take a seat onto the shin. So here we go. So funky Pincha Mayurasana. You're going to come down onto your forearms with your right hand. Your left hand is going to come out a little bit wider, right? But you're lining up your hand with your right elbow. You're going to tuck your toes under, lift your hips up. So again, it might be that this is where you stay, right? You make sure you're pressing into the hand as well as your forearm. Maybe you take your feet up and just see how this feels. Or again, you start floating, your feet up. And then take your feet back down. Shift into child's pose for a moment. Take your time. And then come up and take a seat onto the shins. One thing that's important to remember that most likely you will have one shoulder that is stronger than the other. So it might be that you are now coming into the left side and might be a little bit weaker. So just be very, very pay attention, right? So instead of moving quickly in, if you knew that you were coming up in Pincha on one side, just check in, see how this shoulder feels, right? So it might be a case that you don't want to kick up straight away. Just playing with the idea of shifting weight into it, see how it feels. So we're mindfully moving into this challenging asanas, okay? So then we try again. Come down to the forearm, line up, right hand with your left elbow. Right, tuck your toes, lift your hips. See how it feels. And then shift into child's pose. Take your time, breathe. Again, let go of the expectations of the shape that you maybe had in mind or not in mind. And then return to downward facing dog. And then come through to a seat and lie down onto your back. All the way down. Bringing the feet close by your hips, arms at the long side of the body. Inhale, lift your hips up, shimmy your shoulder underneath you. Step to Bandha Sarvagasana, pressing pinky to the floor. Find that internal rotation. Come back to the breath. Then exhale, take your hips down. Release your fingers, take the hands in line with your ears. Fingertips are pointing towards the shoulders. You can come up and rest onto the crown of the head, so Urdhva Dhanurasana. Inhale, lift up, 5 breaths. Come down. A moment. Move your hands in a little bit. Feet be grounded. And then inhale, lift up. Tuck the chin, come down. Take a moment. Here we go again. Third times, the charm. Inhale, come. Tuck your chin, come all the way down. Hug the knees into the chest. Make circles. And walk up into a seat. Soles of the feet together, knees out wide. Adho Konasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Step your right leg over your left. Bring your left foot next to your right hip. Right hand comes behind. Inhale, lift your arm. Exhale, hook your elbow. Ardha Matsyendrasana. Sit up tall. Exhale, twist. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, come back to center. And then the other side. Just your left foot over, right foot outside your hip. Left hand behind. Inhale, right arm. Exhale, hook your elbow. Again, sit up tall. Exhale, twist. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, come back through center. Let's see. And then now we're just gonna, you know what, let's do this one. A little bit Parvatayana Shashasana. So bend your left knee, right leg out, and then take your forearm onto the thigh. Reach your left arm up and over. Inhale, come back through center, and let's switch legs. Same thing here. Forearm onto the thigh, and then right arm up and over. You can take your hand down, spin the chest up. Inhale, come all the way up, open up both legs, Upavishta Konasana, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up, come into a seat. Close your eyes, sit up tall, listen back into your breath.
more than welcome to stay. Otherwise, just lie down onto your back, making your way into Shavasana. Take the breath, bringing awareness to your fingers. Stretch long. Sending knees to the chest. And then come up into a seat. Take your hands to your heart. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me this morning. I hope you have a beautiful day and I hope the sun is coming out. Take care, everyone.